G'day everybody, how you going today? It is so good to see you. I do hope that you are super well. Yes indeed, I'm actually on holidays. So if I'm looking slightly disheveled, it's because I'm relaxed. I'm in holiday mode. But, as you would know, there's been some exciting releases from Nikon, both on the roadmap and in real life. We've seen the new 17 to 28 2.8 lens launched, and on the roadmap we've had 2 updates, and in this video I want to talk about those updates. Also, I'd like to let you know that right now we're shooting on the Fuji X-H2s on the Viltrox 13mm 1.4. Now this equates to a field of view of a 19.5, which just coincidentally is pretty close to the 17mm that we just got with the new lens from Nikon. Anyway, let's talk about the roadmap in this video. Man, I love the beach. This is awesome. This is the ocean. This is the part of the Pacific Ocean. We've got New Zealand out that way. So good. I love being here on the beach, just having a little bit of time away with the family. 2 super exciting new lenses added to the roadmap. There's a bit of a pattern that appears to be appearing on the roadmap. We can tell by what line the lenses are on as to what class they are in. And there's the wave coming up to the tripod. Things sinking. Let me just drop down a little bit. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so we can pretty much speculate, guess with a pretty high degree of accuracy what these lenses are going to be. And what it looks like is we have a 135 1.8 and a 35mm 1.2, and they are now on the roadmap. And for me, these are 2 lenses which are absolutely in my wheelhouse. 2 must-have lenses for me. I'm a person that has always photographed in difficult lighting conditions, not only with my commercial work, but also my personal artistic work, my calendar releases, my book releases. I like to photograph locations at all times of day, in all types of lighting conditions. When people think about 1.8 lenses, 1.4 lenses, or 1.2 lenses, I think all they're thinking about is depth of field, and that is a massive part of it for me as well. But I have also always lent into the low light gathering capabilities of these lenses. And the idea that we've now got a 35mm 1.2, we've also got, I'm pretty much guessing at this point, it's a fait accompli, the 85mm 1.2. Both of these are sitting on the roadmap alongside the 50mm 1.2. I am in absolute photographic and cinematic heaven. I love that you can shoot in low light and still get beautiful, high quality images. With the Z system, I can now walk around at nighttime and shoot with extraordinarily high performance optical devices that shoot astonishingly well, perfectly, or what appears to be perfectly to me, at 1.2. So I can have an absolute 100% confidence that I can shoot wide open at 1.2, and I've been doing this with the 50mm for the last, what is it? We're heading on almost towards 2 years at this point. That lens, it absolutely brings me to tears, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to have a 35mm 1.2 added to this list, and of course the 85. Now, the 85's been on the roadmap for quite a long time now, maybe a year and a half or something like that. So it's been teased for a long time, and I cannot wait for it to arrive. Hopefully at this point it's not too far off, because we've seen a lot of other lenses. We've seen a lot of long lenses, the 800 PF, the 400 2.8, the 400 4.5, and don't get me wrong, they're all spectacular lenses, and I love all of those lenses, but they're not as much traditionally my type of lenses. And then we've had some wide lenses, like the 17 to 28 that's just been released. These lenses here, the 35, the 85, these 1.2 lenses, I cannot tell you how excited I am about their arrival and their photographic potential. So yes, we have the low light, and we also have the short depth of field. But Nikon, there's a third part about these lenses. They are S-class lenses and they are absolutely ridiculous performers. Now, I say I'm basing this on the 50mm, but I am confident that Nikon will be taking the time to ensure that these lenses, which you pay a premium for, although if you think about cinema lenses, then, and you get it in context, you kind of realize they're super good value for the level of quality they're providing. You know, there's no focus breathing. There's no chromatic aberration, or it's suppressed to the point where it's effectively none. Flaring is suppressed, but then you have this optical performance without focus breathing and everything else that you could possibly want with this type of lens. Recently, I worked for a company called Bailey House, and I was making corporate videos for them, videos selling their company and their services, and also they were doing a recruitment drive as well. And I shot something like 80% of those videos just simply on the 50mm at 1.2. A lot of it was just simply talking heads. It was just delicious. But not only was it delicious, but something that I love to do is just to shoot with ambient light, shoot with the light available. And I love to do that because it creates a really natural look, and it creates a natural look because it is natural, and because you've got a lens that's so fast, you can actually get away with shooting at 50 frames per second at your base ISO, and you're at 50mm 1.2, and you know that your system is going to be able to handle really low light conditions with these lenses. So for me, not only do they deliver low light performance, not only do they deliver short depth of field performance, but now these Z-Class S 1.2 primes are delivering a level of professional performance, which I can use in so many different ways, because of course you can use them for portraiture as well and just get outstanding results, but also these video results. I can't wait. For me, if the 35mm and the 85mm dropped tomorrow, I'd buy them both. Hands down, I'd just buy them both, because the 50mm 1.2 is simply that good. It's an astonishing image-making tool for both stills and videography. And now Nikon's allowing us to have the focus in a more linear way. There's just so many advantages to these lenses. I can't wait to see what they do with both of these.
And as I said, there's some more information, I think, on when the 85mm might come, the 85 1.2 we're hoping. There's this new page called Future Lenses on the Nikon USA website. And here we have what may well be the next 4 lenses. And if they're in order, well, we can see that the 85 is next, but over here on the right is the 70 to 180. Now, that is super interesting. This is what some people had predicted would be the next entry-level 2.8 as part of that entry-level 2.8 Trinity. Of course, we've just released the 17 to 28 2.8. So here it is. It's official that there is a 70 to 180 coming. Also, we can see here we have the Shadow 200 to 600. Now, if these are in order of release, well, we can see the 85 is going to be next, the 200 to 600 after that, and then the 600. This would be a very exciting end to the year. And if the 85mm is next, I tell you, I could not be more pumped. And of course, back to the 70 to 180, if that is the 2.8 that people have talked about, well, how exciting to have all of those lenses.
All right, now I'm super excited to talk about this 1.8 lens, the 135 1.8. That's what it appears to be. Now, I think it's the 6th 1.8 lens in the Z lineup. Now, for some people, the Z lineup, the 1.8s, they've been misunderstood. And it was clear to me, like to me, these lenses, they're kind of like the gateway to the Z system. They're affordable. And some might say they're not because they're 1.8s, but these are people who are thinking about 1.8s from the old DSLR days. And they have nothing in common with those lenses. These 1.8s, all of them, the 20, the 24, the 35, the 50, the 85, and now potentially the 135, what they're doing is they have created lenses that exceed the optical performance of the old f-mount 1.4s. They exceed it, yet they are, in some cases, half the price or less. And people have gone, yeah, oh yeah, but it's not a 1.4. But we're talking, when it comes to low light and aperture, it's just 2/3 of a stop. So very close to half a stop's difference. Yet the price differential is so significant. These entry-level 1.8 primes absolutely offer stellar optical performance, bang for buck, price point, entry point. You just can't go wrong with any of them. And my eyes were really open to this when the first 1.8 that I purchased was the 50mm 1.8. And I popped it on the Z7 and it just absolutely blew my mind. It was just an unbelievable experience. And from then on, I just had absolute confidence. It didn't matter which of these 1.8 lenses that I purchased, I would be impressed and they would exceed their 1.4 f-mount brethren. The 85mm 1.4 f-mount lens, I think, was something like a near on $3,000 lens, and the 85 1.8 was close to $1,000, I think. Yet the new Z lens was leaps and bounds in chromatic aberration, flaring, sharpness, overall performance, just so much better. So these 1.8 lenses have been highly misunderstood by some people. Not everybody, a lot of people get it, but a lot of people have misunderstood. And they've complained, where are the 1.4s? And it's like, you don't need the 1.4s. You've got the 1.8s and they are way better and they're cheaper. And if you really want the creme de la creme, well, go back to the start of the video and you can go buy the 1.2s, because the 1.2s are essentially what the 1.4s used to be. The 1.2s are now the absolute premium prime lenses from Nikon, absolute top of the range. And Nikon have gone from 1.4 to 1.2. And that is what the larger, shorter Z mount is giving us, the opportunity to do that. So don't be misled by that 1.8. All of these lenses rock. And I am so excited to have 135mm coming in a 1.8 aperture. This is something that I will use so much shooting at night, portraiture. There's just so many situations where I will get excited by a lens like this. And interestingly, like, for example, the 105 macro, which is 2.8, not as bright. It's got VR, so it also allows some interesting opportunities. So I've used that. I'm excited about that, the 105 2.8 on the Z. I can't wait for the 135 1.8 on the Z. These are two exciting announcements. Again, as I've said, these lenses are completely in my wheelhouse. I love all of these three lenses. I'd get all three in a heartbeat. And Nikon, I know other people are desperate for the 200 to 600 and so on. Me, personally, these are the lenses I'm desperate for. Just give me one of them. And like the 85mm, we've been waiting, you've been teasing that lens for so long, I can't wait. Whereas, you know, the 200 to 600 people, they've had the 100 to 400, the 800 and the two 400s. There's been a lot of long lenses. I think it's time for some more PRIMO primes from Nikon. Come on, it's PRIMO prime time. Say that when you've had a couple of vodkas. It's PRIMO prime time. Bring it. All right, everybody, I'd love to know your thoughts about the 35mm 1.2, the 85 1.2 and the 135 1.8. Are these lenses that excite you? What body do you want to put them on? And what do you want to shoot with them? Please do let me know in the comments below. And also tell me, what do you think of the Fuji X-H2s with the Viltrox 13mm on the front? It's looking pretty good. I'm not really pushing it. I'm shooting here in one of the flat profiles, one of the log profiles. So we're at 640 ISO, 8,000 shutter speed at like f4 or something. It's so bright here. That's how it works. Anyway, it's been so great to see you. I do hope you're all well. Sadly, my holiday will end soon and I have to go back to the real world. But right now, I'm going to go for a walk on the beach. And you can walk with me, kind of. And please, if this is your first time here, I would love to see you again, so please do subscribe, please share and please like. and I will see you soon. All right, take care.